What's going on, everyone? Chris here with Leeloo. Hope you're doing well. So glad to be here. Let's see who is here. So many of you guys. So glad to see you. So let me say hello. And if you can hear me, please let me know. That'll be great. Get sure the sound is good to go. This is the NQ 5 minutes. That is correct. So um, I have not done the rollover. Have you guys done the rollover already? So, but yes, this is the NQ 5 minute candles here. What's going on, Wi-Fi? Andres, good to see you guys. Wi-Fi. Um, El Manuri, good to see you. Um, yeah, Mas Pedro Adam says, I see you like to use pivot points. Yeah, so good question. I do like to use them kind of as a quick reference, a great guide for my type of trading. I'll be happy to talk about that if you guys want. Just ask the questions and I'll be happy to answer. But yes, you're right. I do use part of that to be part of my decision making when I'm trading. Yes. All right, guys. If you haven't already, go over to Twitter, to my handle specifically, and let me put the here. And here's what we need to do. We need to get to um, go to. Let me see here. One second. We can find it. Um, see if this works here. Go here. Get sure you do. I don't know if that's right. Hold on a second. That's not right. One second. Ignore that. Let's see here. This is it. Okay, perfect. All right, so go here, go and like, comment, and repost. You got to do all three. If we get 25 or more, okay, I think we're right at 10 right now. In the next, let's say 20 minutes, we can do some really cool, epic giveaways. But let's get sure we do that, all right? Let's see who else is here. I like to use my pip points. I see you like to use. GTN Tech, hello. I don't think I've seen you before. By the way, guys, if you're here for the first time, maybe you're hanging out for the first time, maybe this is your first time texting in the box, or if you haven't texted, please say hello. I'd love to say hello to you specifically. I want to welcome you and thank you for being with us and hanging out. So yeah, for sure. First time, please say hello, okay? So GTN, I don't think I've seen you before. So if this is your first time, maybe your first time saying hello, welcome and thanks for being here. Akram says hello, everyone. Ed Mahadi Muhammad says hello. Good to see you. Ernestus Capri says hello. I don't think I've seen you before. At least it doesn't sound familiar, but yeah, so if this is your first time, let me know. TX, what's going on? Good to see you, TX. Audio is good. Good to know. Let's roll. Yeah, thank you. Ernesto says we can hear you. Wi-Fi says, yes, we hear you. Great, thank you. P says up. And Mohammed says, what rollover? And then we got NYX. Nick says hello. Sirika says hello. Kelsey's Burrito says hello. Okay, P, you're new. Well, welcome. So glad to have you joining us. If you feel comfortable sharing, where are you from? What part of the country or what part of the world are you from? Um, and thanks for being here. And how long have you been trading? So JT, what's going on? Good to see you again. Marcellus, good to see you. Amar. Okay, Ernesto says, first time, didn't know you are doing live. Yeah, do live every Tuesday. Usually try to do it around 12 p.m. Sometimes I run a little late, like people will tell you. So, but yes, this is a great time that if you have any questions about Leeloo, anything about Leeloo related, this is a phenomenal time to ask. Now, the first Tuesday of the month is usually guided to traders that just joined Leeloo for the first time. Um, but we welcome them to come and ask questions anytime. So Also, we talk about trading. So, what's going on around the trading markets in the world? So, if anybody wants to share anything, we'd love to hear it. And if you have any questions maybe about the way I trade, you're welcome to ask, and I'll be happy to answer. I have a real simple method, so nothing too complicated, nothing fancy, nothing extremely exciting, but it works and it works for me. So that's what matters. But yeah, man, so glad to have you here, and thanks for joining us. So yes, so please like this video. So we got 24 people watching. Let's get 24 likes. So let's match for every view, every like. So, all right, let's see who else is here. Where we left off here. Okay, you're from okay, Ernest, and yeah, since you're new, where are you from? And which you said Lithuanian. And what do you? How long have you been trading? Malin says hello. I'm an lad about 2 decades trading. Nice. Okay. P, thanks, man. Hope you're doing well. 2 decades. Wow, that's crazy. Good. Exciting. Darren Lynn says hello. What's going on, Darren? Good to see you. All right. So let's talk a little bit. Let me just go check some stats real quick here while we're looking. All right. I want to talk about some stuff regarding Leeloo, and then we'll talk about the markets, and then obviously any questions you have along the way. But looking at data, who here? I'm going to take a quick poll here. So okay. All right, and I'm typing really. Okay, real simple. Okay, so here's the question. If I were to show you the data, if I were to tell you the data, if I was to tell you what our most successful traders do, if I was to tell you what our most, oh man, I need to edit that. How many people voted? Let's see, hold on. So 6 people already. If I were to show you the data and tell you what our most successful traders do, will you listen? Okay, I'll word it that way. If I was to show you, if I was to tell you, based on data, based on real information, and tell you what our most successful traders do, will you listen? Okay, that's the poll. So go vote, because if we get enough yeses, which I think we will, I am going to tell you right now the data that I've been looking at. I've been studying this data from our most successful traders. I've studied the data from the least successful traders. And there is a huge, huge difference in that data. Obviously not surprising. Scary enough, though, I guess, I don't know if it's scary. I think it's good, maybe. There is a lot of things in common. So there's a lot of differences, but there's also things in common. I guess I should have said a lot, because a lot means, I guess, maybe more than 50%, or I guess most would be 50% or more. So I would say there's a lot of things we have in common, and there's a lot of things, a lot more things that we separate us, I guess. Maybe let's put it that way. But the data in itself, when I was done reviewing it, I don't know if it didn't surprise me in a way, but maybe it's because that's what I was taught. But at the same time, I was surprised because I'm like, oh, my mentor was right. So shoot, good. It's good. I'm excited, but it's still like, wow, how did he know? How does he know this stuff, right? So, okay, so we're gonna talk about that. So let's see how many people we got watching and see how many people likes. Okay, we're at 37 people watching, 22 likes. With 25 votes, all you guys say yes. All right. Here's the other thing here. All right. Is who here? So I'm going to finish this poll. I think we got 100% votes. So I want to hear this other poll because I'm interesting. And let me ask you why. Let me tell you why I'm asking these questions here. This poll, okay? It's because I'm genuinely want to know who here wants to potentially change their life. Okay? And it's not just trading here talking. I'm talking about just in general. How this could change your life. It changed my life in a way. And I know and I've met people that have changed their life. Now, is it going to change everyone's life? No. But not everyone's going to do what they're supposed to do. So one way I look at it is, it's like if you join a gym membership, can that gym membership change your life? Yes, it can. Is it going to change everybody's life that joins? No, it won't. So, all right. My question is, who is ready to take action based on what you hear today? Who is ready to take action based on what you hear today? I would say hear, learn today. Okay, let's see this poll right here. So this poll, I'm asking who is ready to take action based on what you learn, what you hear today. Okay, so it's a simple question. All right, is who here is willing to say, I am willing to change my thinking based on what you say. So, and please be, all right, please be 100% honest, don't just say yes to say yes. Don't just say no to say no. Don't just say maybe to say maybe. Just think about it for a second and be honest with yourself and be genuine and say, you know what? If I hear and I believe this, if I want to try this, I am willing to make a change. All right. So right now we got 19 votes. By the way, 34 people watching. So let's get those likes up. 30 likes. Nice. 4 likes away, guys. We got this. All right. 19 votes. Let's get a couple more votes in there. But right now, 90% of you, 80, 90, there we go. 90% of you say, I am ready to take action based on what I hear today. 10% of you say maybe. And that's totally okay. Hey, that's okay to say maybe. No worries. 0% of you so far have said, no, I will not change my ways. So that tells me that 100% of you have the potential and willingness to change your mindset today. 91% are willing to do it and take action right away. 9% say maybe. Okay. So now we do have 4% that says, no, I will not change my ways. Okay. All right. Interesting. But cool. All right. So we got 23 votes. Let's see if we can get some more votes. We got 36 people watching. So we're keeping up with the likes. But let's see. I just want to see at least 10 more votes there on the poll. So if you haven't voted on the poll, if you're able, please do so. I want to know if based on the information I'm going to share today, here in the next few minutes, based on real data, based on real traders, based on their success and how successful they have been in long-term success. I'm not talking about 1 week, 1 month. I'm not even talking 1 year. Okay? Based on that data, based on the data I've collected from even speaking and talking to my mentor who's been doing this for 20 years and looking at comparing that to traders that don't do well. I'm interested to know who is ready to take action based on what you hear or learn today. So we're at 29 votes. I think we're getting up there. 86% of you say, yes, I am ready to take action. 10% says maybe, and about 3% says no. All right. So if you're part of that 3%, no worries. You're welcome to stay. But, you know, that's cool. You're not willing to change. Like, whatever. So maybe, that's cool. Let's do it. Okay. So I don't have this in any specific order. All right. And let me see some of the comments here. Let's see. Okay, it says shoot, and Muhammad says most people said yes. Trade small, take quick losses. Yeah. Hi Chris, easy to say but difficult to follow. Yeah, it's gonna be difficult to follow. All of us, not just money mindset, well-being, wealth. Yes. Spit it out already. Okay, Trader Chris, take it easy. Rain says, I swear this is a drag. Sorry, Ryan. I'm waiting. Ryan, I'm not trying to drag this out. I have another meeting to go to. I'm trying to get everyone involved and to be sure that they're here and listen. So sorry, I'm dragging this along. Okay, well, let's get started. I think we got enough votes and enough people. And again, I apologize for being late today. Okay, and this is not in any specific order, so please keep that in mind. Okay, but the number one thing that successful traders do is consistency in contract sizes and in losses and profits gained. All right. So consistency in contract sizing and in profits and losses gained. All right. So let me explain that briefly. It's pretty simple. All right. But let me kind of go over. I call this averaging in. I don't know what the technical term is, but one of the biggest difference that successful traders do or don't do is that they do not average in high volumes. All right. So they don't add more losing, they don't add positions to a losing position on a heavy side. All right. Now, this was a little difficult for me to see because I used to do this a lot more. I don't do it as much, but I used to do this a lot. So who here has done that before? Who here has averaged in on a losing position? So meaning adding contracts when you're down and adding more contracts to bring that price closer to your current target. So successful traders that I have looked at based on data do not do that. All right. Now, not saying they've never done it, but they don't do it on enough time to make it into the data. Okay. So not saying that they haven't done it once, but they haven't done it and they don't do it on a regular time. All right. So I used to do it. I don't do it anymore. But I used to be big on that. So let me see what you guys are saying here. Okay, Ernest says he does it. John Cafe says, yes, I did. Robert says, I'm being honest. Every single trader has done it. Paul, I have, and it did not end well. Okay. Yep. TX says me, but not anymore. Okay, I used to do adding to losers. Yep, I don't. I'm still doing it, but much less. Okay. Yeah. Trying to stop averaging down. Okay. Is that what it's called? Averaging down? Is that what you guys call it? Is that the official name? So yes. So that's one of the things that I've saw that successful traders don't do. What they do is be consistent in their contracts, regardless of what number of contracts they're doing. So, for example, if they on average trade 2 contracts, they stick within that 2 contracts, and sometimes they may do, let's say pick 4. So if they usually trade 4 contracts, they will stay within that 4 range. Now, is it always 4? No. Sometimes I saw them go down in contracts. So maybe they'll go to 3. But they will stay within about 1 apart. So they'll go down to a 3, 4, maybe they'll go up to a 5. But you don't see them going down from a 4 to a 1. You don't see them going down up from a 4 to 8. Okay. So, okay. TX says the official name is DCA. DCA. Okay. So, cool. Good to know. All right. So, all right. So now we talked about consistency in contracts. Anyone have any questions on that? Maybe you have any specific questions on why that means or anything before we go to the next one. Okay. All right. Robert talks about trailing. Okay. Yep. All right. So if I don't see any questions, I'm going to move on, but we can always come back to this one here. The other thing that, based on data that I saw, was how the dollar cost average. Okay. Thank you so much for explaining that. Okay, the next one is the traders, the successful traders, the consistent long-term successful traders, traded not based on a schedule, but based on the market. Okay, so let me break that down a little bit. They traded when the market showed them that it was time to trade, not on a specific time or number of times of the day. So, for example, none of them traded all day. Not one single long-term successful trader traded for multiple hours. Not one of them. But instead, what we saw was that, based on the conversations I had with them, was that if their setup, and I'll call it a setup, whatever that is, their strategy calls for, was available, they traded it. They did not trade just to trade for that day. They didn't just go and trade it all day for 5 hours. They didn't sit there. They traded when and only if their strategy was there. So they didn't trade that much, in fact. So compared to those that don't do well, all right? So if I was to put a number together, for example, on average, our successful traders traded for about 2 to 3 hours a week, where let's say that our not successful traders have been trading for, 15 hours a week. So that was a big difference. That's something that really stood out. Okay. Now, we're judging that based on the type of trades and how long they were in trades and how many times they traded. So if they took a trade at 8 in the morning, did they take a trade at 10 a.m.? Did they take a trade at 1 a.m.? 1 p.m., sorry. So we're judging based on that information. All right, now, I'm not saying that they didn't sit there and computer. That's a different story. Okay. Any questions on that? Does that one make sense? All right. No questions? Here we go. All right. So now we know time in the markets is important. We know that consistency with contracts are important. We know that profits and losses are important. So this kind of goes with the first one. But the successful traders, based on data we saw, is that they're really good at losing. They are good at knowing how to lose. Does that make sense? They are okay, and they lose a lot. Listen to me. They lose a lot. In fact, if you were to look at their data, if we're talking about just wins and losses, we're not talking about money, we're not talking about how much they lost, but we're talking about just a losing trade compared to a positive winning trade. They lost more than the not so good traders. So the successful traders had more losses in just lost win, right? not amounts of money, than the not successful traders. Now, what we saw was that the successful traders were quick to lose. So, and I'm not going to give you a dollar amount because the dollar is different for everyone. It has everything to do with the number of contracts, what instrument you're trading, all that kind of stuff. But what we saw is that they were good at taking losses. They were quick. They didn't let the losses run. So when they had losing days, they were dramatically smaller compared to their winning days. Okay. So one of the things that I learned is that traders that are not successful they're not good at taking losses. They don't want to be wrong. They don't want to admit to being wrong. So they stay in the trade, and that's when they average in, or like some of you mentioned here, dollar cost average. So, and typically, not everybody, but typically, and that causes them to blow large number of amounts of dollars in their accounts. So in a single day. So one of the things we saw was that successful traders don't lose their account in a single day. They don't lose it in 2 days. They don't lose it in 3 days. They don't lose it in 5 days. It takes them a while to lose their account. It doesn't mean they won't lose an account. They lose their accounts all the time, but it's not going to happen in a week. It's going to take so much time to lose that account, which gives them time to continue to grow and think and learn. Okay, let me check the stats real quick to see if we're going to do a giveaway. Let me log into, excuse me. All right, let's see where we are here. Looking at the stats, we are at 17, 16, 16. So we need, gosh, guys, we need 10 more, 9 more. All right, let's see if we can do it. I'm looking at Twitter. Okay. Oh, good question. By the way, yes, if you have questions, please ask. Because I'm not going to be able to cover everything. But I'm going to cover enough that will change. If you take action and you do this, I believe will change your way of trading, your success. Steve says, what indicates do successful traders trade? Great question. And in fact, you listed both of those. So we see that traders that are successful, a great majority of them started. So I went back to the very beginning, and in the very beginning until they have grown their account at a dramatic way, started with the M and Q and the MES. So MES and M and Q. Okay. So and then they have grown their account and what. So another thing what they do and how they scale up is many of them have goals like, hey, after I have $10,000 in profit, I'll go up in one contract. After I have $15,000 in profit, I'll go up in another contract. So whatever dollar amount they decide, that's when they scale up in contracts. So they start with micros. They start very small. So you see their account growing slowly, and they have certain targets. So for example, maybe on micros, they say, hey, once I make $1,000, I'll go to 2 micros. Once I have, another $1,000, I'll go to another micro and another micro until they have 10 micros, and then they go to the one full contract on the ES or NQ. And then maybe after they make $10,000, they go to 2 full contracts. So that's how we saw them grow that. And that's how I've seen that. And that's how my mentors mentioned it, in fact, which was very interesting, which is not always exciting, but it's the right thing for long term, what I've seen. So NQ, ES are the 2 ones that we saw them do, Steve. So, and in fact, my mentor, I think 90% of the time trades mainly the ES. So that's where I started, was the ES. So good question. So we talked about consistency. We talked about how to lose, and being good at losing. Adri says, I'm trying to learn how to control myself too after losing the trade. Yeah. So Adris, that kind of leads me to my next point. So I'm really glad you brought that up. Is how you handle how you handle uh, um, your trade. Okay, how what is your life after trading? Okay, what is your life before trading? So the most successful traders have full time jobs. They have other things going on. If it's not a full time job, a great example is my mentor. He he has a whole life of baseball. He has 3 kids. They all play baseball. He's constantly traveling. They're not just sitting at their desk all day doing trading. They're going to meetings. They got conference calls. They got off to work. They got family duties to do. That allows them. Now, I've only interviewed some of those regarding this specific question. But a great example is my mentor is he is going to go. If there's an opportunity to trade, he trades. If it's there, great. If it's not, then he leaves and goes on. Or Adres, once they're finished trading, let's say they lost, they're moving on. They got other things to do. They're not sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, I lost, oh whatever, and then potentially revenge trading. So one of the biggest things that we saw from the not successful traders, was revenge trading. Now, we've all, I think, done revenge trading, but the difference is growing out of that. So a lot of the non-successful traders would trade in the morning, and then they will lose, and then they will come back and trade in the afternoon. All right, 90% 90% of the traders that we saw that were successful did not come back to trade the afternoon. You know, win or lose, they were done. They were moving on. They got other things to do. All right. So that's one thing to definitely understand. It's going to be tempted to revenge trade. It's going to be tempted to go and do all this stuff. Now, as you know, this is all for educational purposes only. But I need you to understand that when you go and revenge trade, you're not following your strategy. You're not thinking your strategy. You're thinking, I need to make this up. And anytime that's on your brain, you need to step away and run away. All right. I'm going to share 2 other things with you. But before I do, I'm going to check, allow you guys to ask any questions. And I'm going to check for one last time here my Twitter account to see if we hit our marks. Because I'd love to do some giveaways as well. All right, we did not meet our marks. We got 19, 18, 17. So we got 17 comments, 18 reposts, 19 likes. So, man, we made it close. Really wanted to do some giveaway, guys. So we'll see. Okay. Let me do 2 more things here that I think is extremely important. And again, everything here I'm saying in a way, I'm sure that you all have heard somewhere, you know. So it's interesting. We have heard a lot of this, but yet we don't apply it. So, all right. The other one that I want to talk about is the focus on money. Okay. This is the biggest difference. So if we were to separate and pick only one of the biggest difference, this is it. Our successful traders, the most successful traders, and those I've interviewed and those of the data I've looked at, and I'm going to include my mentor on this as well, is their focus was not money. Okay? When they focused on money, that will be on the other side. That will be on the non-successful traders. And let me break that down a little bit for you. But I see we have a question, so let me answer this question here. It says, Breathlife says, why this payout process take so much time? What okay. Yep. What do you mean by this payout process? I guess I'm not sure. What do you mean by that? If you can clarify that. All right. Yeah. So Robert says we should talk in ticks instead of money. Even though we have heard all this, we still need to be reminded again. Yeah, for sure. Yep, I'm there with you. So here's what I mean about the money. I talked to our successful traders. I've asked them, hey, what did you think about which accounts do you like at Leeloo? You know, and why? And why did you pick that account? And why do you still trade that account? And the almost great majority of them, if not all of them, said, hey, the traditional LL Foundation accounts are the best accounts. And I said, okay, well, why? I don't understand. Explain it to me. Pretend I have no idea. And they said, well, first of all, how you trade, and I've talked about this before, how you trade your practice account is how you're going to trade your performance account. Now, you may tell yourself something different. You may tell yourself, oh, no, I'm going to do this one way, and then I'm going to change and do this one the other way. Okay? So that's not what they said. They said, I trade my practice account in the same manner that I'm going to trade my performance account. So I need multiple months to grow that account. I need time. I don't want to have time against me. So when you trade options, time is against you, right? You buy an option, you get your option devalues every day, right? So I'm like, why would I do that to myself? So one of the times I do is with a monthly subscription on the LL Foundation account. I have time. So time is not an issue anymore. The other one is that's how my performance account is going to be. My performance account is going to be every month. It's not going to be a one-time. It's not just going to be there for 1 month. So they're growing their accounts over time, over months. So that made me think, well, that makes sense. But I said, well, what about the payouts? Why don't you want a weekly account? We have weekly accounts that pays you every single Saturday. We have edge enhancers that you can buy when available to pay you every 10 days. I was like, why don't you buy that? They said, at the beginning, when they started, they wanted on faster payouts. But the more they learned and the more they grew, they realized, no. We just want to trade our strategy. The money will eventually be there. So not getting a payout right away, just because they have the money available, allowed them to continue to focus on their strategy, build their account, build their strategy, and request payouts. We have a trader out of, where is he from? LA, I think. I know it's in California. I think it's LA. He requests a payout every other month. He can do it every month. He does it every other month. And so I had to ask him, hey, why do you do it every other month? You can do it every month. He says, no. I want to grow this. I don't want to be dependent. I don't want to. It's not if I focus on the money, which we all want to, it's hard not to, then I suddenly start taking trades I shouldn't start taking. So one of the things that we saw was that if you want to be a long-term trader, you don't get payouts often. In fact, somebody said the fastest way to lose your account is to get more frequent payouts. Yes, you're going to get some money up front, but you won't have an account for long. So the traders that have been on the other end, the non-successful traders, or let's say the non-long-term successful traders, have gotten payouts, but won and blown. They have gone, as soon as they're eligible, they're done. And so it's been a very quick process. So long-term, they don't stay around. They don't survive. They don't get to make it. So It's like a one-hit wonder without any benefits in the long term. So I know this is the difficult part since I struggled with this early on. Um, and when I moved to my own private account, when I opened my own account, I want the payouts every day. So I got payouts every day. And then I started doing really bad. And I remember calling my mentor and saying, "Hey, why am I doing really bad? I was doing everything was great." And he's like, "Well, what changed?" And I said, "Nothing. I haven't done anything different." And he's like, "Something's changed." Then I told him, "Well, I mean, I'm getting payouts every day." He's like, "Well, why would you change that? How much were you getting before?" I was like, "Well, I was doing it once a month before. But now," and he was like, "Why would you change something that was working?" And I said, "Okay, fine." So I went back to, even though I could request a payout every day, I went to requesting a payout once a month. And then now it's like every other month. I'm kind of like that guy from LA. And so because I'm not focused on the money, I'm just focused on, you know, if I was a quarterback, I'm just focused on going in and throwing and completing passes and running the plays. I'm not playing for the score. Just to look at the scoreboard and seeing what we got. I'm doing the best I can when I'm supposed to do what I'm supposed to do. So let me ask. Oh, I see some questions here. Sorry, guys, I just saw it. Let me see here. For let's see. Ernest says, even though we have heard all this, it will still need to be reminded. Yep. Steve says we should think process, not dollars. Yeah, 100%, Steve. Salah says, for the rule that counts only winning day trades towards 30%, example, 25 kPa one day, 1500 second day is negative 500. The best winning trade is 1500 or 1000. So on the 30% rule, is whatever your account balance is. 30% of that cannot come from a single day. So it's from a single day. Omar says, LB 250K give a little more room for error. Yes, but Omar, good. That's a good question. Little more room for error. That's the thing. There's no such thing as little more room for error. You're just a little more over leveraged. And that leads to the last thing. It's being over leveraged. Okay? That's the last thing I'll talk about today. There's plenty more. Traders that we saw do well, and this kind of goes with the earlier comment we made about their contract sizing, is that the successful traders are not over leveraged. Okay? So listen to that. They're not over leveraged. So, and this is, hey, I'm including myself in this. Back in the day, man, I was so over leveraged that I couldn't even blink. Okay. So one of the huge differences that we saw from successful long-term traders to non-successful traders. Now, when I say non-successful traders, I'm not talking about people that, it doesn't mean they never got a payout. Yeah, they got payouts. We're talking about long-term. They were not over leveraged. So that's probably one of the biggest things I've seen is not being over leveraged. So Omar, you mentioned, hey, a little more room for error. No matter the account size you select, if you're not over leveraged, you're going to have plenty of room. Only when you're over leveraged are you going to be tight in a difficult situation. So that kind of leads to the last comment, which let me just go over some stuff here and then we'll finish that last comment here. If it worked on an eval, it should work on the PA. Yeah, Mohammed, exactly. So the PA, the practice account, the PA is the same, exactly the same. What changes is your mindset. Or if you did a different strategy in your practice account to what you're doing in your performance account, that's going to change as well. So that's why it's so important to trade the same way you plan on trading your practice account, your performance account, and your practice account. Hamza says LL because it represents a real PA. Yeah, absolutely. So Hamza, I think you're right. So guys, we're going to be releasing a sale because of this data, because of everything I found, into the end of the month. Okay. So here in the next, probably right after I get done with this, I'm going to release a sale for the foundation accounts. And I'm going to be pushing those foundation accounts until the end of the month heavy, because based on what the data has shown me, that's what the account that I think is going to be best for everyone. So again, don't buy a bunch of them. Just buy one. If you feel like you need to buy two, buy two. But take your time. Trade it like you are meant to trade your performance account. Trade your practice account. All right. So let me see what else questions are here. Omar says, when it comes to trading, what you say makes sense. Yet trading every day to reach a payout takes 1.5 months. So if we wait and miss a day, that stretches the payout time. Isn't the payout why we trade? Omar, I see your point, but your point is not, the way you're thinking through that is not the best way to think through that. Yes, ultimately, we are all here to make money. Yes, that is the goal. But when we get that money, that's where we differ. So if I was to tell you that, if you do this exactly like we talked about, your chances are, now, are you going to be successful? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But your chances would dramatically increase. But it's going to take you maybe more time to get a payout compared to trying to do it faster and never getting the payout. So you're, Omar, and with all respect, you're thinking about the money still. Okay? So let's talk about sports for a second. If you know who Tom Brady is a former NFL quarterback, professional quarterback for the National Football League here in the United States, who it's arguably one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game. Even if you don't like him, you have to agree he did really well. Never does he go into a game, never did he go into a practice thinking, oh, I'm going to cash my check this weekend. He went into practice focusing about the strategy, his opponents, understanding what he needs to do, learning the plays, practicing the plays, getting sure he delivers the ball to his receivers, working on strategy depends on the defense they're playing. He focused on the game, the money followed. Okay? If he went in and said, oh, if I throw 5 touchdowns, that's going to give me a $5,000 bonus, a $2 million bonus. He didn't think like that. So, yes, he's playing for the money too. Just like we're here to do it for the money. But it's how we think about the money that makes a difference, Omar. So, see, you're thinking right there based on what you wrote is that you're saying, hey, if I miss a day, it's going to take my payout. So instead of getting it next month, I'm not going to get it in 2 months from now. So now you're saying I'm going to go take a trade that you shouldn't have to maybe take. And then now you're affecting your trading because you were thinking about the money. Now, Omar, I know you and a lot of people, trust me, we all want like this fantasy of like, oh, yes, this perfect world. There's not a perfect world. We got to start doing things differently that are not working. If you've been trading for a while and you're in the same boat and nothing is changing, you need to make a change. 81% of you said, I am ready to take action. So 81% of you, I'm talking to you right now. 59 people voted. 81% says, I am ready to take action based on what I hear today. If you're part of that 81%, I need you to listen. Let's stop doing things that we have been doing. Okay, let's keep the good stuff. Let's keep the things that we talked about that is good, that maybe you're already doing. That's phenomenal. So maybe some of you are like, hey, man, I'm doing like 3 of those things. Great. What are the other things that you're not doing, or what are you doing wrong that we can change up? All right. And one of them is what Omar said. Oh, man, but if I miss one day, it's going to push me to the next month. See, that's thinking about the money. It's not talking about the strategy. I'd rather you say, man, I am not trading today because it does not look good. No problem. That's what you need to be saying. So I'll finish here. I got to read more comments, but I want to say this before I forget. I think it's really cool. I never forgot it. One of my good friends, he has a private plane, and we go flying together a lot, and we have a lot of fun. But when he does the walkthrough, so if you know anything about planes, the pilot needs to go do a walkthrough, a safety check. He has to go check everything inside, outside, instruments, the engine, everything. When he does that, he tells me to stay away. He says, "Hey, Chris, go inside. I'll talk to you in a little bit." He doesn't tell me to come with him. One day I said, "Hey, why can't I stay with you while you do it?" He's like, "I need to focus. Even the slightest distraction can make me miss something." So I'm like, "Okay, that's no problem. Okay, I'll wait inside." And then later I said, "Hey, when you're doing this, what are your thoughts? What are you going through? What's in your brain? What are your thoughts?" And he said, "I have the mindset that I am not going to go fly today." Okay? That's my mindset, is I'm not flying today. I need to talk myself into flying. So when he's doing the the walkthrough, okay, he already has a mindset that he's not going to fly. And I said, "Well, that doesn't make sense. Explain that to me." He said, "Well, a lot of pilots are ready to go fly. So they're wanting. They're already thinking about what they're going to fly. They're going to be up there flying. So when they're doing a walkthrough and they see something kind of, that could be an issue, because they're so focused on wanting to fly, that they may skip that minor issue and ignore it. Instead, with his mindset of, I don't want to fly, if he sees even a minor issue, he's already said, well, that's it. I'm not flying. I'm not flying." And so he takes safety to the next level. So instead of, he is trying to convince himself to go fly, if everything checks out, instead of him trying to convince himself to not fly, if everything checks out. Does that make sense? So, and Amar, I'm not picking on you. That's, a lot of people think the way you're thinking, and I'm telling you that's not the right way to think. Robert, yep, maybe you misunderstood me. Yes, we should get our money, 100%. I've gotten my money. The traders that are doing very well got their money. So what I'm talking about is, I want you to get your money month to month to month to month to month to month to month for months and months and months and months, not a one time. One payout, you're done. Does that make sense? So Robert, we're not talking about you never getting your payouts. No. Listen, nobody here likes money more than I do. I'm talking about doing it in a way that is going to be healthy. So that's what we're saying. And again, it all comes down to about not being about the money. It's about your strategy. So get sure you understand. I guess I want to be sure you understand that. Let me see where I left off. Sorry, gosh, it moved on me here. Sorry, guys. Let me see where I left off. Jeez. Okay, I got Robert. We should get our money. Okay, Omar says, just coming in. Is DCA okay? Brett Light says, weekly account payout requested last Saturday, but still not processed, just showing pending approval. Support doesn't reply back. Yep. So if you requested a payout Saturday, we're still reviewing those, and we got to send the money to risk. So before we can pay that out. But yep. So we're still working on that. So please be patient. And support doesn't do anything with payouts. So just be, again, it says pending. Please be in the pending situation and wait. Jess says, just join. Can you give a quick overview of what you guys discussed? You can go, Jay. Sorry, you can go back and listen. There's a lot to cover. I just hate to go so quickly. So DCA is not okay. All right. And Mohammed says, what account size does most successful traders tend to go for and prefer, do well with? Yep. So, Mohammed, great question. In fact, once we move them, let me put it this way. The account size ultimately doesn't matter. That's the short answer. It does not matter. So the account size has nothing to do with their success. The account size is only for the strategy. What kind of strategy they have, that they may depend, they need more contracts or, bigger trailing drawdown. But ultimately, the account size does not matter. So ultimately, but good question. I think I already answered that. Let's be honest. The consistency rule only is great for the prop firm, but hey, your house, your rules. Okay. Not true, but sure. You are right, but look at my other comment. When a red day or several red days due to time, work schedules, even choosing one contract, you have little more room for red days, if that makes sense. See, Omar, again, I think you're still thinking about money. Red days, green days. No, just strategy. Don't worry about the days. Don't worry about red days, green days, blue days. Worry about, did I follow my strategy? Your question at the end of the day is, hey, did I follow my strategy? Did I do what I was supposed to do? And I think you will see a difference at the end on how that looks. Malin says, talking about 30% rule, how does it work after first payout? Is still 30% total account balance, 30% profit after payout? Yes. I'm still hearing that lovely classic music in the background. Yes, I got some music in the background. If it's annoying, let me know. Amma says, for example, my strategy is not working out today and I'm getting frustrated. I should call it a day. Yes. Yeah. First of all, don't get frustrated. Now, it's easy to say that, but let's look at this. My strategy is not working out today. Okay, so you already know the answer. Hey, today's not my day. My strategy is not built for a day like today. I'm done. So you should not be frustrated. You should be happy. You should be happy to know that today is not your day. Now you can leave and go and do something else. It's not that you don't understand what you're doing. You do understand what you're doing. You know exactly what you're doing. Because the fact that you know that it's not working today, you know exactly what it means. Now, when you say it's not working today, do you mean you're not winning? Because that should not define your strategy if it's only winning or losing. Is it doing what it's supposed to do, what I expected, but I just happen to lose? That's fine. You lose all the time. So look at it in a positive way. Oh, it's not working today. Yep, I tried, took a trade. It's not doing what I expected to do. It's not respecting my strategy. It's not set up for my strategy. I'm leaving. I'm moving on, doing what's next. All right. Robert says, let's be honest. End of day, we need to afford us to pay the bills and vacation. Robert, let's put it this way. I am so sorry if you've been sold a lie. Because that's what it looks like. You have been sold a lie. All right. You have been sold that you need to become a full-time trader and that's all you need to do and you're going to make so much money and you're just going to have a private plane. Robert, trading is extremely difficult. Long-term success is very difficult. The way you need to look, in my opinion, at trading and trading with Leeloo or any other company is as a vessel to learn and become a better trader. If your goal is to say, hey, I'm going to suddenly do all these incredible things, you're going to probably not do those incredible things. Listen to what I'm saying. There's a lot of noise out there that promises everything, okay? Guys, trading is extremely difficult. Now, is it possible? Yes. Can you do it? Yes, but it needs to be in a healthy way, a very healthy way. One of those healthy ways is the more stable you can be, the more financially secure you can be, your chances dramatically increase. So let me put it this way. If you're betting and you need this trade money to pay your bills next month, that's going to affect your trading. That's going to affect how you trade. Because now you just told me, Robert, you just told me, based on your comment, that if you don't trade this month, you're not going to be able to pay your bills and your vacation. What if I told you that my mentor had 2 months of losing and he was totally fine? No worries. Because that's part of trading. You're going to lose. So what if I told you that if you needed to take 2 months off, well, you can't do that? See all that pressure you're adding to yourself? So it's great to have dreams and goals. That's not what I'm talking about. But they need to be realistic. Okay? They need to be in a safe environment, in a safe way that allows you to increase your chances of being successful. I don't believe anyone here learning how to trade should be depending on this money to pay your bills. Okay? That's already the wrong mindset. Now, later on, once you grow and you're the constant, trader, and you're just, to the point that, you have built and you're doing well, yes, you can do stuff like that. But very few people are there because we are learning, we are growing, to become consistent long-term traders. So you cannot, I'll put it this way, you should not count, and from my point of view, to pay your bills and your vacations until you have grown and proven yourself over time and been able to open your own account and be consistent over time on that to say, okay, now, I can count on this to pay my bills. The best thing that you could do, and this is from my mentor, is to have a full-time job. Now, if you have a full-time job, great, Steve. I'm not talking about, or Robert, sorry. I'm not talking about you specifically, but I'm just talking to all of you. The less pressure you put on yourself, like, oh, I have to pay my bills. I have to do this. Oh, I have to get a $1,000 payout. If I don't, I'm not going to be able to do this. Now you're thinking about money. Going back to the money. Money. That money is going to affect your trading. Because now suddenly, when you don't see anything in the markets, you're going to have to force something because you need that money. Guys, I need you to listen to me. I cannot tell you enough. And I know what I'm saying is not exciting and sexy, okay? I understand that. I understand that some of you are saying, oh my gosh, what you're saying is extremely boring, and I don't want to do that. I want to get a payout tomorrow. Listen, I hear you. But I'm talking about based on data, and I'm talking based on stats. Omar says, I don't watch sports. Oh, come on, Omar. Killing me. Amma says, the chart is not making you money. Leeloo is. Focus on the payout and winning trades, not money. Yeah, so Leeloo is not making you money. Your trading strategy that you're consistently following ultimately will make you the money if you have a good strategy, even if you have an average strategy. It's you. The only person holding you back is yourself. And how are you holding you back? Well, when you focus on things you shouldn't focus on, when you do things you shouldn't be doing. Robert says, this is why we check Forest Factory, the news, fundamentals for the instruments which we're trading. Yes, 100%. Paul says, question. Can you do a video on the strategy you use or possibly give us some info on places where you can find out more about your system? Hey, Paul, thanks so much for asking. I did a video a long time ago, about a year ago, maybe a little more. I have a real simple strategy. My mentor taught me this strategy. It's not out there exactly how I trade. There's nothing. I've looked. The reason I can answer this, Paul, is because I've looked. So what I call supply and demand zones and support and resistance and what I call all that, it's not out there. They have the same names, but it's not the same style. So they just have a same name, but not the actual same definition. I would look into doing something. Paul, actually, I'm kind of glad you asked that. I was thinking of taking 5 or 10 traders and mentoring those traders for the next 3 months on a practice account talking to them, daily, getting some feedback from their trading, how that's going, and just following them for, like I said, a month or two, maybe 3 months. So I've been thinking about that. I don't know what you guys think about that and who'll be interested, but it'll be interesting to see accountability. Like, hey, tell me what you did today, why you did this. Now, I'm not talking about winning or losing. I'm not talking about money. I'm not talking about, oh, I made $300. I lost $300. No. I don't care about that. I'm talking about, oh, why did you take this trade? Why did you do what you did? Is that part of your plan? Yes or no? So I like the plain analogy better than crook Tom Brady. That's funny. Robert, got it. Okay, Hamza says, although trading is about money, but once you actually trade for money, you done for. You doomed to lose everything. Trading is all about patience. Yeah, thank you, Hamza. Chris, any LB discounts we expect this month? Actually, Sirika, I'm going to be putting the LL Foundation accounts. And listen to me. There's a reason. I want to test this out. I want to see how people do long term. I'm going to focus on the LL Foundation. I want you guys to understand the importance of that and how you can take one account, treat it like a performance account, and grow that account over time instead of just trying to do it as quickly as possible. Salah says, for the rule that counts only winning days trades towards 30%. Okay, I don't understand, Salah. Sorry, so I'm not understanding. Thanks for the stream. I believe this can help to get proper mindset on this path. HXH, yeah, you're welcome. Thank you so much. And I think so too. I really do. And it's, you know what? We got 70 votes, guys. 77% of you are ready to take action right now. So I'm going to end officially this. I'm going to finish reading the questions. If you are interested in having a 3-month, 1 second here. That's weird. Huh. If you're interested, 1 second, sorry. I'm gonna keep the stream going, but if you are interested in potentially being one of the 5 or 10 traders that will be willing to get a LL Foundation account and log in and journal your daily trading, or whenever you trade, whether it's daily or whenever you take a trade, provide that to me and we will talk about it for the next month or 2 or 3. Stay on board, okay? So, but let me finish asking and reading the comments here, rather. Blue says, yo, awesome. Thank you, Blue. Steve, this is true. HT Man says, thank you, Chris, for the advices. You're welcome. Andres, thumbs up. Kill Sale says, you are boring, not what you are saying. You are boring. You are boring. You are boring, not what you are saying. Okay, yeah, Kill Zill. Sorry, I don't know what you mean, but all right. Amma says, we're getting brainwashed. This YouTuber is promising 80,000 monthly payouts. Not fair. Oh wow. Who's that, Amma? El Mahadi says, I would have been much profitable if I had a weekly. Amar says, this life is painful because it grounds me to reality. Yeah, Amar, sometimes it hurts, doesn't it? Yeah, I hear you. Paul says, OMG, I'm ready. Count me in. I would love that. TX says, count me in. El Muhammad says, I would do that. Amar, do spoil about it to see who is interested. Oh, do a poll. Okay, sorry, Amar. It'll be, I would like to do that. Let me see. I would like to do that. Paul says, I appreciate it. That sounds great. That would be great, Chris. I like the mentorship. Make it 10. Will be, I'd like to join. Do we email you, Chris, if we are interested? No, just stay on here if you're interested. Sure, I am. Definitely couldn't hurt. What's up, Nick? Sign me up. I'm okay. So cool. I'm gonna end this poll here. So great job on the poll, guys. Thank you for your honesty. For those that said yes, I am ready to take action. 76% of you. Awesome. 18% that said maybe. Hey, no problem. And those 5%, hey, that's you. Okay. 72 voted. That's awesome. All right. So if you, so let me formally end this, and I am going to create a new YouTube live. So I'm going to finish this one here. I'm going to end it, and I'm going to create a new one. And if you're interested in join, oh, actually, you know what? 1 second. Let's do this. I'm going to create a Zoom link. Or does everyone have either, not Zoom, Skype? Does everyone here have Skype? Because I want to be able to hear you guys talk. Okay, I want to have a conversation, so I want to invite anyone that wants to join in talking, and then we'll have somebody sign up. So if you don't have Skype, let's see. Let me see if we can do Zoom. 1 second. I gotta get somebody to help me with that. Okay, 1 second, guys. I am trying to figure this out real quick. Tell you what, I am going to do it through Skype. Let's see here. Let me stop sharing my screen 1 second here.